Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for taking time out of your day to join us for our Final Expense Monthly Monday. I also hope you had a really good Thanksgiving holiday and you've kind of come out of the Thanksgiving coma. We're in our final month of 2019. We have a lot to cover. By the way, my name is Matt Alina, and I'm the Final Expense Manager here at URL Insurance Group. And like I said, we do have a lot to cover. So let me just go briefly into what we do here every month. So the first working Monday of every month, we get together to discuss final expense sales. We talk about some of the good, the bad, the ugly. We talk about different sales trends. We highlight specific carriers to kind of show you and give you a spotlight of what certain carriers are doing. And now that we're getting into the end of the year, there's a lot of changes coming down the pipeline. That some of the changes will be taking place here in the next couple of days. Some will be taking place in the beginning of the new year. So there's a lot to discuss here, and I hope that you can stay with me here. And of course, this is an interactive webinar. So if you do have any questions, feel free to type your questions, and I'll be happy to answer your questions at the end of the presentation. We have we have time allotted at the end. Of course, you can also raise your hand, and I can unmute your phone or your computer microphone, and you can ask your question aloud. Either way, I'm here to help you, and that's what this whole idea of this webinar is, to help you and give you some direction in the final expense marketplace. So what we'll be discussing today, we will be talking about the final expense sales program that's going on here at URL Insurance Group. We'll also be talking about our lead program and our lead subsidy and how that works. We'll also discuss how to get started. If you have not started with final expense sales, we will show you how to get started with us. We will be highlighting a carrier this week, and also some sales tips we'll be throwing in there as well. There's also going to be some changes coming down the pipeline here with a couple of our key final expense players. We'll also discuss agent bonuses and agent incentives, and then we'll also open it up for any questions, any comments. Maybe you've had some struggles and there's other people on the call that can help you with what they've done in the past. What we have said here for several years now is that we do have the playbook for success. Some of our top agents have been utilizing us as their final expense coaches for several years. And some of these agents are doing $100,000, $200,000. We even have an agent that's doing $300,000 a year in final expense sales. So we are your final expense coaches. We're here to help you with anything that we can to help you with meeting and exceeding your sales goals in final expense sales. We can provide you with sales materials, whether it's scripts, some different agent guides. We have an online quoting tool that we'll be showing you here in a few minutes. We also have a turnkey marketing program for Medicare producers. So if you do Medicare, we have a way to help you cross-sell compliantly final expense and other product lines as well. We do different webinars and seminars on one-on-one training. We have consumer materials, whether it's brochures, memorial books. We have letters that you can just copy and paste onto your own letterhead and send out to your clients. We have also different lead resources that are available. And then we subsidize your lead costs based on your production. Our final expense carrier portfolio grows all the time. We have about 20, 21 different, maybe 22 different final expense carriers. Now, we don't recommend that you get licensed with all of these carriers, and chances are they're probably not all of these carriers are going to be approved in your area. But this is just to give you an idea that we're always looking for the best final expense products out there. And what we determine to be best is that it's good prices for your clients, that they have liberal underwriting, and that it makes it worthwhile for you to go out there and sell the product. How do you know who's going to be the best carrier? A lot of times it's price. There are times where the client's going to have some pre-existing medical conditions that may keep them from getting the best price. But to give you an idea, we do have our final expense quote engine. When you go to our website, in the bottom of your the bottom right-hand side of your screen is our website, which is URL insgroup.com, and then if you click on Aries, and then go to the top of the page, click Departments, Life Markets. You'll see that we have our quoting tools. You'll click on the final expense quoting tools. It looks like this. It'll take you to this page here on the left-hand side of your screen. So you'll put in the state that you're in, along with the date of birth of the client, the gender of the client, whether they use any tobacco products, the face amount, the benefit, whether it's level, graded, modified, guaranteed issue, or a paid up policy, whether it's paid up single premium, 10 pay, 20 pay, paid to 65, different things like that. You do not need to do anything with the access key, and then you just click on Get Quotes Now. And then on the right-hand side of your screen, the website, the quote engine, does the shopping for you. So that just gives you an idea of the quote engine. Now, you're not going to be licensed with all the carriers that are on the quote engine, but it's going to give you an idea of what rates are out there. It's really kind of a way to get rates fast, so that when you're meeting with your client or you're on the phone with a client, you have it right at your fingertips. You can get some rates, and you can give them rates for 10, 15, 20,000. Let them pick what's going to fit into their budget. There's a bunch of different ways in which you can quote final expense, and I'm here to help you with that. Now, I also want to discuss to you about our lead program and some of the vendors that are out there. So we have access to direct mail vendors that will do a 1,000-piece mailer. The average cost is about $460 to $500. You can get a guaranteed response. Those are where you request a minimum of 20. Those range anywhere from $32 to $35 a piece. They are exclusive leads. You do have a defined sales territory. It's usually by county. You can drill it down to zip codes if you want, or you can expand it to the entire state if you want to do it that way as well. It's entirely up to you. That's the direct mail. These are exclusive leads. So these leads are going out. They're mailed out to people in the territories that you target, and they're coming back specifically to you. We also have verified teleleads. Those are $25 a piece, 10 lead minimum order. Again, these are exclusive, and the leads are never resold. We do have access to Facebook leads. I was told that there's different pricing out there. You might want to go direct through Facebook, not through us. Either way, we can help you with subsidizing those lead costs. The price that I'm getting is about $30 per lead, 20 lead minimum order. I've heard them that they can be anywhere from $10 to $15 a piece. Don't quote me on the price, but this is one of our agent partners has been using these Facebook leads and doing very well on the Medicare side. Then we also have basic teleleads. The basic teleleads are anywhere from $10 to $15. The price is determined by the quantity of leads that you order. 10 leads is the minimum, and then these are also exclusive leads. Now, I get this question all the time. What is the difference between verified teleleads and basic teleleads? The verified teleleads, they do go through a little more questioning of the lead to verify the person's interest in speaking to you. Also, verified leads, the verified teleleads are US-based calls. It's a US-based company. The basic teleleads, there's a couple of different vendors. The prices are about the same, and it really depends on if you want to deal with South America. We do have some English-speaking countries down there that know the English language very well and communicate very well. It's just that there's a cheaper rate. They don't have to pay US wages. And same thing with like Asia, where you may be getting calls from the Philippines. Some agents do very well with it, some don't. The verified teleleads, we've had some really good success with that. Now, as we're talking about the different prices of the lead programs, we also want to show you that we do subsidize your lead costs based on your production. So Gemini partners, those are partners that consolidate all of their business under one roof, that roof being URL. We know that there are a bunch of other competitors out there, but our Gemini partners, we give you $80 for every $1,000 of paid annualized final expense premium. So we look at the production each month, and then we calculate your placed premium for the month, and then we will let you know what your lead credit is, so we can either work with the lead vendor for you, or we can send the lead subsidy to you. Either way, you can use one of our lead vendors, or you can use the lead vendor of your choice. It's entirely up to you. For standard partners, instead of giving you $80 for every $1,000 of placed final expense annualized premium, we give you $50. So really, it's a difference between consolidating all of your business under one roof with URL, or using us, but maybe you have some other partnership relationships with some other brokerages out there. We do understand that, and we do expect that. Standard partners, we give you $50 for every $1,000. So just to give you an example, let's say during the month of November, you placed $5,000 in final expense premium. That's annualized premium. The client can be paying monthly. We annualize that premium. So we would give Gemini agents $400 towards leads. Standard agents get $250. Now it is based on street level contracts, but we can kind of work with you on that. So as we've talked about the different carriers, our quote engine, and such, the next conversation is about getting started. And I know it sounds kind of cliche, and you hear this all the time. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3, but it is. It's really as easy as 1, 2, 3. The first step is to select your carriers. If you're looking to do final expense sales, kind of like as a full-time thing, you'll want to have about 3 or 4 final expense carriers, so we can certainly help you with that. If you've already submitted your contracting paperwork, all you need to do is let us know of your selection of your carriers, and we will process it from there. If you have never submitted your licensing contract with us, then you'll want to submit your contracting with the selected carriers in there. And then the third step is to order leads. While all of this is getting processed, leads are going out, whether it's telemarketed leads or lead mailers. Order those leads, because it'll be time to get started. Everything should start coming in right around the same time. Now, if you've never done business with URL, maybe you haven't done any life business with us in the last 2 years in final expense, we're going to be kicking in an extra $25 per placed final expense application. This is placed final expense application during your first 60 days with URL. The minimum annualized premium is $500. You can still qualify for our lead subsidies, and it's for business that's placed during your first 2 months. You have to be new to URL, or you haven't done business with us in the past 2 years to qualify for that fresh start bonus. Our company spotlight for this month is Liberty Bankers Life, and Liberty Bankers Life has a lot of flexibility to it. Their whole life plan is called Simple, S-I-M-P-L. It's a simple final expense whole life plan. One of the unique features about Liberty Bankers is that they take younger people. They start at age 18, they cap out at age 80. Minimum face amount $3,000 going up to $30,000. Now what they do is they have 2 level whole life plans, preferred and standard. It is based on their health and the way they answer their questions. And the difference between the 2 plans, they're both level, is just the rates. So if you have somebody that maybe they have COPD and they're not on oxygen, they can qualify for the level whole life standard plan. And then if they can't qualify for the preferred or standard plan, they might be able to qualify for the modified whole life plan, which is a 2-year graded or 2-year modified benefit. Their rates are very competitive, and you can do sales over the phone with Liberty Bankers. They have a worksheet where you can either be face-to-face with a client, complete the worksheet, and then call the toll-free number and have the client talk to the underwriter, or you can set up a 3-way phone call with Liberty Bankers Life and do the sale over the phone. And they do give you point of sale decisions. So it's at the time of the appointment that they will give you an underwriting decision. As I mentioned, they are liberally underwritten, so they will take somebody with COPD. Another one is lupus, atrial fibrillation, also known as AFib. They get a level standard benefit with that as well. So review the application. If you're not sure, I'm more than happy to help you with the application and trying to decipher who's going to be the best carrier depending on your client's existing medical conditions. Moving on, I do get this question a lot, and that is, what carriers allow electronic application submission? Or better yet, what is an application that you can do over the phone, where you're not face-to-face with a client, or that you can get instant decisions? So we have our guaranteed issue carriers, both AIG and Gerber. They have an e-application. Americo's Eagle Premier Whole Life, which is their final expense product, that is a phone application, and they also have an e-app. Now, understand this: some of the processes are different than what they may advertise because of different state compliance things. But just so that you're aware, they do have an online e-application. Assurant has an online application. KSKJ Life, one of our newer final expense carriers, competitive rates. They're working on an e-application that should be rolling out here very soon. Mutual of Omaha has it as well. Occidental Life, Oxford, Prosperity, Royal Neighbors, and the one that's going to be added here in the next week is Transamerica. So we'll get into that here in just a few minutes. When you're doing, here's the sales tips for the month of December. We all know that the client and the lead's first line of defense is the good old voicemail. That's our line of defense too. If we're not interested in talking to somebody, we look at our caller ID and we see that who it is, or maybe we don't recognize the number, we let it go to voicemail. So combating the first line of defense, how do you get somebody to call you back? You withhold information. So here's an example. Maybe you got a tele-lead, or maybe you got a postcard back on the lead, or maybe even a referral. So you call the person. You might want to refer to them as Mr. or Mrs. or Mr. or Ms. and just say, hey, I've got the quotes for you that you requested. Give me a call back, and that we can discuss what I've been able to put together for you. Something where you're kind of giving them you're dangling the carrot. You're giving them a reason to give you a call back. Or pique their curiosity. Hey, I was looking over a few things and I need to discuss with you. Please call me back as soon as you get this. Again, you're piquing their curiosity. You're giving them a reason to pick up the phone and call you back right away. Also, choose your words. Pick your words carefully. Hey, Mr. or Mrs., or if you're on a first name basis with them, hey, Bob, I think you'll be pleased with what I've been able to do to save you some money each month. Everybody's interested in saving money. That's going to give them a reason to give you a call back. And then lastly, state the consequences. Hey, Randy, or hey, Mr. or Mrs., whomever, since I have all of your preliminary information, I was going to be in your area around 7 o'clock on Wednesday to go over the paperwork, unless you call me back to arrange another time. So basically, you're showing up at their place around 7 o'clock on Wednesday, unless they tell you otherwise. So very tricky way to do it, but sometimes that works. These are all just some suggestions, some different sales tips of what has worked with other agents trying to get people to give them a call back. So looking ahead, as I had mentioned at the beginning of our presentation today, there's a lot of changes coming down the pipeline, and two of our core final expense carriers, Transamerica and Foresters, they're making some changes. Now, there are other changes coming down the pipeline with other carriers. One of the things to mention is that the insurance carriers are being mandated to adopt the 2017 CSO mortality tables. What does that mean in terms of what we do? It's basically the actuaries are using a different mortality table. They're being mandated to use a new mortality table, and that's going to have some effect on rates. With Transamerica, they had mentioned that they're going to be adopting the new mortality table here next week. So a week from today, new rates are coming into play. Tobacco rates are going to be increasing. It does not sound like they're going to be increasing some of the non-smoker rate classes. they have a new application for applicants 0 to 85. For those of you who are familiar with Transamerica, they used to have, and they still do currently, have two applications. They have an application for applicants 0 to 44, and then they have a separate application for 45 to 85. Now what they're doing is combining the applications and going 0 to 85. So they're making it a lot easier. It does look like it's a lot longer of an application when it's really not. It's just the way it's worded, and the spacing is a little bit different so that you're not missing the questions. Plus, there are some instructions in there because there are certain questions you ask for a certain age group versus the other age group. And they are going to be introducing the e-application. It's through their iGo, which is the iPipeline application process. It is online. You can do the sale over the phone. Or you can do it face-to-face and submit the application online. They have what they call Express Protect underwriting, meaning same-day underwriting decisions. They are working at having point-of-sale underwriting decisions, but that's something that they are working on. So these are some baby steps for Transamerica. So just so you're aware of the changes that are coming there. Foresters, a week from today, you will also be experiencing new changes, different changes to their rates. They have a new, different final expense application. There will be some emails. There was an email that went out earlier that discussed this, but they're going to be making some changes. The other thing that they're going to be doing is rolling out 2 level whole life plans. They're going to have a preferred, standard, which are both level, and then they have a basic, which is graded. Before they had their level, graded, and modified. So this is going to be level, and graded. And the rates are going to be changing, but they are still a very competitive company. They offer the same great member benefits and such. So if you're not familiar with either of these companies and you're interested in learning more about them, feel free to contact me or send me an email, and I'll be happy to answer those questions for you. So as we're talking about getting to work and ordering leads and stuff, understand that if you work hard, you get to play hard too. And this is just an example of some of the trips that these final expense carriers offer their agents based on some minimum production. So KSKJ Life, St. Kitts for 2020 based on $44,000 of minimum of annualized premium. Another company, Western Catholic Union, $40,000. Punta Cana, actually, I should change that. It's not Punta Cana, Dominican Republic anymore. It is a 7-day or a 7-night Caribbean cruise. So they decide not to go to the Dominican, but there's some really neat trips. And starting in January, a lot of these carriers, because their production is from January 1 to December 31st, so next month we will be hearing about some new trips that will be coming out for the 2021 trip season. But in this example, this just gives you an idea of what the production is to get there. When you work hard, play hard, URL also has our President's Club trip. This will be coming in the spring of 2020. URL will be taking our top producers to the Hotel Bennett in Charleston, South Carolina. If you're interested to know what the qualifications are or see where you stand, feel free to check out our website and log into our website. With your login information, you'll be able to get all that information and more. But if you've never been to Charleston, South Carolina, it is a great, great town, great history with great restaurants, great shopping. There's a lot to do there. It's a really neat city. So for those of you who are in the Medicare marketplace, just to let you know that we do have an additional webinar coming up on Monday, December 16th. It's titled Medicare AEP is Over, Now What? We'll be discussing some ways to help you expand your services as well as expand your book of business, grow your revenue, and so on. So feel free to join us for that webinar. It's again, Monday, December 16th. It's at 11 o'clock Eastern time, and hope to see some of you there, especially if you're doing Medicare. This is going to be a great resource for you to help you establish stronger relationships with your clients, growing your revenue, and expanding your services. Now is our time for an open forum. This is where you get an opportunity to ask any questions that you might have. You can type those questions. I'll be happy to answer them for you. But I do want to hear from you. If you're doing final expense, maybe with another brokerage, or maybe even with us, if you're having any challenges, let me know what those challenges are. I also like to hear the good stuff too, which is, what are your successes? If leads are working out really well for you, how are they working out for you? If you had a weird situation that worked out really well with a carrier, I want to know about that too. I also want to know if you're on the fence about giving final expense a try. What can I do to help you get started? What can I do to help you give it a try? There is a lot of money to be made, and this isn't one of those marketplaces where people make it look easy. It's not that easy, but we're here to help you with those challenges, and we're here to help you with growing your business. So what can I do to help you give that a try? So those are some things that you can certainly ask, and I do see some questions coming in here. So let me see what we've got here, and if you do have questions, please don't hesitate to type those questions. I'll be happy to read those questions and answer them aloud for you. So Alexandra asked, do these carriers have production minimums? And no, they don't. URL does not have production minimums. If you haven't done business with certain carriers in, say, 6 months or 12 months, they may terminate your contract, but we can always get that reinstated for you. But to answer your question, no, these carriers do not have production minimums. That's one of the benefits of being an independent broker. Nobody's telling you what you should and shouldn't do. Nobody is telling you that you have to meet certain goals. The goals are what you set up. So if you have a goal of doing, say, $5,000 a month in final expense sales, which is a very good month, we can work with that. I'm happy to discuss how to set goals and how to meet those goals. We're here to help you with that as well. As you're typing out some of those questions, I know that a lot of questions do happen to pop up after we've kind of parted ways. I do want to wish everybody here a very happy holiday season. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, season's greetings to each and every one of you, regardless, or not regardless of, but whatever holiday you celebrate during the month of December. I hope it's a great one. So happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And my contact information here is 800-926-8875, extension 141. My direct line is 717-216-8041, and my email address is there on the screen. So we've covered a ton of information this month, and again, I hope that some of you that may be doing Medicare, that you join us for our webinar on December 16th. You can register for that on our website as well, under the training link that we have there. So again, my name's Matt Alina. I'm the Final Expense Manager, and I look forward to helping you meet and exceed your final expense sales goals for the upcoming year. So give me a call. I'm here to help. Again, my number is 800-926-8875, extension 141. My direct line is 717-216-8041. Thanks a lot, everybody, for joining us, and I hope to hear from you all very soon. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and take care, everybody.